Gravitas, co-presented by Skoda. Kushak, choose what really matters.
The Prime Minister of India will reach Washington D.C. on the 23rd of September. As we wait for his arrival, it's slightly tough to ignore the not-so-discreet activities of a delegation from India's neighborhood, which seems to be working overtime to push its same old propaganda, but with new vigor. The delegation is from Pakistan. It landed in New York on Sunday to build its case against India on Kashmir. Yet again, you must know that Pakistan has been a member of the United Nations General Assembly for almost 74 years now, 7 decades plus. And it has spent all of these years on one mission, seeking parity with India on Kashmir. 74 long years, all of those efforts have failed, we can say, but why do they fail this time will be different? Well, first of all, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan, is not part of the delegation. He's not coming to the US. After all this, he's still waiting for that phone call from US President Joe Biden. 7 months, no luck yet. And the not so small matter of finding a free ride to New York. You see, the last time he traveled to the United States in 2019, he took Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's private jet. Apparently, MBS did not want him to take a commercial plane, so he lent his VIP Boeing 747 jumbo jet to Imran Khan. Well, this time he's made no such gesture. All things considered, it makes sense for Imran Khan to not come here in person, so he's going to address the United Nations General Assembly virtually through a pre-recorded video message that will be aired on the 24th of September. Meanwhile, his foot soldiers are here and they're expected to do the rest. Who are these individuals? Well, the usual suspects: Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi, who's leading the Pakistani delegation, and Shahryar Afridi, the chairman of Pakistan's so-called Parliamentary Committee on Kashmir. Upon his arrival in New York on Sunday, Shahryar Afridi posted this. Allow me to quote from what he said. Landed in New York to sensitize international audience on unabated genocide, war crimes by Indian occupational forces in Jammu and Kashmir, but was taken aback by malicious propaganda by evil forces and pro-India stooges. Unabated genocide, war crimes, evil forces. Makes one wonder if he's talking about Pakistan. Also, what exactly is Mr. Afridi taken aback by? A security check. That's what he did not mention. Look at the headline. Pakistan's Dawn is reporting that Shahryar Afridi was stopped at New York's JFK airport after he, quote-unquote, failed to satisfy immigration officials. He had to undergo secondary screening and was reportedly questioned for about an hour. American authorities gave him permission to enter New York only after the Pakistani consulate in the city confirmed his credentials. Now, Mr. Afridi says that this is the work of, quote-unquote, pro-India stooges. It's almost funny that Pakistan thinks that India is behind the smallest of troubles it faces. Its own attempts to defame India notwithstanding, the Pakistani delegation has not landed in New York empty-handed. They've brought along with them an anti-India dossier, a dossier that is not worth the paper it's printed on. It was released on the 13th of September by Pakistan's Foreign Ministry in Islamabad, and we reported on the timing of this dossier and how Pakistan plans to use it against India at the United Nations General Assembly. And we're not too sure if they'll find any takers for this. This dossier is a shoddy attempt at comic fiction, if I may say so. It accuses India of running terror camps for the ISIS, the Islamic State. Pakistan, a theocratic terror state, is accusing India, the biggest and the most diverse democracy in the world, of running camps for an Islamist terror group. That's what they're saying. And Pakistan is keeping its hopes high. It thinks this dossier will help build a counter-narrative against India on Kashmir, and it is trying to, quote-unquote, sensitize the international audience in advance. It's unlikely to generate substantial diplomatic support, or any support for that matter. Unverifiable information, inconsistencies in evidence, and not to mention a variety of spelling mistakes being a few reasons. This dossier is forensically dead, as is Pakistan's counter-narrative against India. Arriving first in America does not add legitimacy to its cause. If anything, it reveals Pakistan's desperation to avoid getting called out on the global stage at any cost. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.
Gravitas, co-presented by Skoda. Kushak, choose what really matters.